Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, today we have a hearing on two bills, and these are really timely and important pieces of legislation given everything that is happening to people all over the city, given the challenges that so many working people have faced, the incredible stresses that people have gone through in the year 2020 that we're going to be fighting back through all through 2021 as well. We've got to look out for working people. So these two bills are absolutely crucial for protecting a group of working people who often have gotten the short end of the stick, our fast food workers. And they're folks that we depend on in so many ways. We have to make sure they get fairness and they are protected from unfair dismissal without just cause. So two pieces of legislation today, Intro 1396A and Intro 1415A. And they're really about fairness and equity for folks who do so much for the rest of us. They work so hard. They don't get compensated a lot. They're literally crucial to feeding New Yorkers, and they've been crucial during this whole pandemic. And we got to be thinking about how we help people now, and we got to think about the future. The future has to be a lot more fair. The future has to be a lot more focused on the needs of working people, not just the wealthy and the privileged. In the future, we have to make sure there's a lot more protection for working people, and it starts with some of the workers who have really had the toughest conditions, and certainly that's our fast food workers. Look, they don't make a lot of money. They need the money that they have to pay rent, to support their families. They need to have job security, but they're amongst the most vulnerable. They can often, right now, because there aren't enough legal protections, be dismissed arbitrarily and unfairly. And think how devastating that would be any time, but particularly in the middle of a pandemic. So these bills ensure that fast food workers will no longer have to live in fear. I mean, think about that, all the other problems and challenges. But on top of that, fast food workers have had to live in fear that maybe their job would be taken away from them for really no good reason. Now they won't have to live in fear. Now they'll have the security of knowing the law is on their side. So this is about making sure people have decent standards, fair standards, and fair protections. Intro 1396A, this bill will require that when a fast food employer needs to terminate employees for economic reasons, that such employer discharge employees in reverse order of seniority. So those hired last would be discharged first, respecting the contributions of workers who've been on the job a long time. Intro 1396A also establishes arbitration proceedings as one of the ways employees can seek enforcement on the provisions of the law. Intro 1415A prohibits fast food employers from terminating employment or reducing average hours by more than 15% without just cause. Just cause means there has to be a real reason, a fair reason. Now, the prohibition does not include newly hired employees in their 30-day probationary period. But what it means for all the rest of the employees is before there can be a termination, they have to have utilized, the company has to have utilized a progressive discipline process. That's crucial for making sure there's fairness and justice. Another key point, Intro 1415A establishes two more options for employees to seek enforcement via our City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection or via a private right of action. I want to thank everyone who's worked on this important legislation, our Commissioner, Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, Laura Leigh Salas, Speaker Corey Johnson, the City Council, Councilmember Danique Miller, Chair of the Committee on Civil Service and Labor. And now I want you to hear from the two sponsors of the legislation. First, I want to thank her for all her hard work. I know how much she looks out for working people in her district and all over the city. Councilmember Adrienne Adams, sponsor of Intro 1396A. Welcome, Councilmember.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, Mr. Mayor.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. You know, before this pandemic, fast food workers performed dangerous and physically demanding work, but now, as essential workers, their jobs have become even more dangerous, putting their health and their families' health at risk. Most fast food workers can't afford to miss a paycheck. Many take this risk because they have no choice. They need to work just to survive and to put food on the table. Our legislation requires employers to have clear guidelines about what constitutes grounds for termination, to give feedback on performance and issue warnings, to have a just cause, a good reason for dismissing workers or reducing their hours. Fast food workers' lives are pulled apart when their hours are reduced, or if they're fired for no reason at all. Frontline fast food workers are predominantly immigrants or women of color who face discrimination and racism in their communities, at work, and all facets of their lives. No one should have to worry about being fired or having their hours cut for arbitrary reasons. Fast food workers have been subjected to unfair work environments and have been the victims of unfair reduction of hours or arbitrary termination for far too long, causing them to live in a constant state of uncertainty. The Just Cause legislative package is about giving working families economic stability and security. And most importantly, this is about treating workers with respect and dignity. I'm so proud to partner with Councilmember Brad Lander on this important package. And I want to thank Stacey Yearwood, my Director of Communications and Legislative Affairs, for her hard work on this important package. I'd also like to publicly shout out New York City fast food workers, 32BJ, the Center for Popular Democracy, and the National Employment Law Project for fighting for well over a year to pass Just Cause legislation. Today we do this. I'm very proud for this signing, and thank you again, Mr. Mayor, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. I want to join you in shouting out all those good folks who worked so hard for this day. And your hard work was worth it, everyone, because a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people, are going to have protections because of all of you. So I thank you deeply. Next, I want to turn to someone I've known for, well over 20 years. And when I was a council member and I left the city council, he succeeded me and now represents my community. And I know he really cares deeply about these issues. My pleasure to introduce the sponsor of Intro 1415A, Councilmember Brad Lander.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Happy New Year. We are going to make this one something a whole lot better, and I appreciate your effort in that. And
I like your spirit.
Obviously, it is so here. We got a lot to do, but we're going to look back on this one and say it was a year when we really took care of each other. So thank you. And it's so good to be with Councilmember Adams, who's been an amazing partner in this fight. Adrian, Happy New Year, and thank you. And of course, I'm just especially grateful to be here with some of the fast food workers whose courage has led the way in this fight. I'm excited to hear in a bit from Akosua and Jeremy. Your courage is what we're following here. You are leading the way. Fast food workers have been on the front lines of this pandemic, serving their neighbors, all of us, working in tight quarters, taking new responsibilities for sanitizing, and yet often unable to speak up about health and safety issues in their workplaces out of fear of losing their jobs, being fired for no reason at all. Now, fast food workers have been on another front line as well, and that is the front line of the fight for justice in the workplace, starting nearly a decade ago with the Fight for 15, which now has led to tens of millions of Americans getting pay raises all across the country, a whole bunch of new ones this week because of the courage of fast food workers. That includes the fight for paid sick days, for fair scheduling here in New York City and all across the country. Your activism has transformed what were low-wage, unstable jobs into dignified work that people can rely on. It really is a model for fairness in our whole economy and a roadmap for a just and durable recovery. In that work, these workers have been supported every step of the way by SEIU, both nationally and by 32BJ, really showing what it means to build worker power and to be a social justice union. So I just want to give big thanks to SEIU President Mary Kay Henry, 32BJ President Kyle Bragg, and also Candace Tolliver, David Cohen, Hannah Birnbaum, Autumn Weintraub, Mia McDonald, and so many organizers who have supported that work. That transformation over the past decade has made jobs better. And I think it's important to note companies are still operating profitably. The financial value of the 8 largest publicly owned fast food companies has increased by over $42 billion in the last year, since December of 2019. They can afford to treat their workers with dignity. So I'm proud that today New York City is following their lead again, becoming the first place in the country to grant just cause employment protections, giving these essential but long disrespected workers the job stability and dignity they deserve. It matters in the pandemic, and it will matter long afterwards. I want to shout out from my team, Steph Silkowski, Annie Levers, and from the council's team, Louis Cholden Brown, Mayor, the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, especially Commissioner Lorelei Salas and Deputy Commissioner Ben Holt, have been amazing. And also thank you to Paul Son at NELP and Rachel Deutsch at the Center for Popular Democracy. To close, today's victory will serve as a model to build a fairer economy. No one should be fired on a whim, no matter who their employer is. All workers should have this basic workplace protection. There are plenty of countries where that's the case for everyone. And I hope today, in addition to providing this critical benefit to tens of thousands of fast food workers right here in New York City, we're taking a strong step in setting this direction for all workers in our whole country as well. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Adrian, for your good work. Also, really appreciate you pointing out the fight for 15, because we cannot focus enough on the victories of working people. SEIU, National Employment Law Project, Center for Popular Democracy, so many great allies. But I remember when the fight for 15 was a very young, very new idea in Brooklyn. And the way, less than a decade ago, it was by many ridiculed and diminished and considered impossible, and yet working people fought for their rights, and a lot of the great people gathered today fought on. And I really want people to dwell.
Mayor, we should just remember John Kest briefly at this moment and his legacy in that fight.
You took the words out of my mouth, Brad. I think about
sorry.
John. No, I'm glad you said it. I think about John Kest all the time. An incredible work. I miss him. He was a dear, dear friend. Incredible work he did at Acorn, and he was one of the great innovators and creators who brought this idea to the fore. And I wish he had lived to see city after city, state after state getting to $15 an hour, because I remember when people told John he was crazy, but he was exactly right, and we miss him deeply. But to everyone who's carried on that fight, just a moment of appreciation. They said it couldn't be done. You went out and you did it. And you did it in place after place after place, red states, blue states. It's the shape of things to come in this country. And thank you to all who fought that battle. And now, talking about SEIU, we're going to hear from two of the great leaders of SEIU here in this city. Such appreciation. A dear old friend. We've been through so many good struggles together, side by side. And I know he cares deeply for the needs of our fast food workers. My pleasure to introduce the president of 32BJ SEIU, Kyle Bragg. Happy New Year, Kyle.
Happy New Year to all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Here at 32BJ, we know that when we fight, we win. And 32BJ has been fighting and winning alongside New York City fast food workers for years. From the historic $15 minimum wage to the landmark Fair Workweek laws. Today, our Mayor de Blasio, will be signing a historic just cause legislation that will protect essential fast food workers from unjust firings and cuts to their work hours. Just cause legislation is the next step toward turning essential fast food jobs into good family-sustaining jobs. This package of bills, intros 1415 and 1396, is a way for New Yorkers to stand up for essential workers. There are nearly 70,000 fast food workers in New York City who are on the front lines of this pandemic, but don't have the economic security because they themselves can be fired or have their hours cut for no reason and without recourse. Today, these laws get to change that. These laws will bring much needed stability to the fast food industry and to the lives of those 70,000 men and women who rely on these jobs to take care of themselves and their families. Large public traded fast food companies like McDonald's, Chipotle, Domino's have made billions in profits during this pandemic, with share prices increasing at least 30% and company values also up by billions. While workers continue to carry the weight of not having enough hours to make ends meet, and the stress from possibility of unjust termination, and at any moment, now the instability and indignity of these fast food jobs will finally come to an end. With the united voice of 175,000 members, 32BJ is committed to improving the lives of all working people here in New York City and across our nation. This is the time for workers to rely and stand with unions. As a union that fights for all rights of all workers, we will not let ourselves in the interest of corporations undercut worker standards at a time when humanity and relief is needed more than ever in our country. At a time when our economy is struggling, it is crucial that our elected officials use their power to protect workers. I'm proud of our New York City leaders who are moving and continue to move us forward. With the bold action taken today by our City Council and our Mayor de Blasio, New York City is stepping up for workers and furthering a legacy of protecting low-wage workers. New York City is setting an example for the entire country, as we always do. I want to thank our Mayor, Mayor de Blasio, our City Council Speaker, Corey Johnson, and of course our bill sponsors, Adrian Adams and Brad Lander, for leading on this big, very important issue. Thank you always for standing with workers while standing up to big corporations and fast food companies. Thank you again, and I know you want to hear from some of the workers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Kyle. I just love the passion with which you spoke, and thank you. Working people are going to need you in this city in 2021 to help lead the way to a better and fairer city for working people. And I always say it's a transformative moment. 2021 is not just a time where we're coming out of crisis, it's a transformative moment. This is the kind of legislation we need to really make sure the society serves working people. So thank you for your leadership, Kyle. And now, great pleasure to introduce someone. I've talked about the Fight for 15 with her many times. I've been so moved by her leadership, and we've talked about fast food workers a lot, and we've acted in a variety of ways together to support fast food workers. And I really appreciate the vision she's always had for fairness and justice for fast food workers. Always believed it could be done. It's actually happening. So congratulations, Mary Kay Henry. My pleasure to introduce you, International President of SEIU, Mary Kay Henry.
Mayor Bill de Blasio, I'm proud to stand with you and council members Adrian Adams and Brad Lander today to celebrate this huge leap forward for the tens of thousands of fast food workers in New York City, but also for the 4 million fast food workers all across the United States of America who, thanks to your action in signing this legislation today, have hope that this poverty wage job can be transformed into a secure job that people can raise their families on when elected officials answer the call of the workers who've been making this demand in New York City. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for your leadership and for the collaboration with the council members. And I want to proudly stand with my brother, Kyle Bragg, president of BJ, the Unstoppable Force, for working people in New York City, that has galvanized all essential workers to make this leap forward today for fast food workers. New York City is blazing the trail, just as fast food workers did in November of 2012 when they walked off the job and boldly made that 15 and a union demand. You are the first city in the country to pass protections for just cause and stop billion-dollar corporations from unfairly firing workers. This is an incredible win for working families, and it shows the power that fast food workers have built in insisting that we have to link the fights for racial justice and economic justice that Adrian Adams so clearly outlined when you spoke. And fast food workers have proven yet again that we can make what seems impossible possible by joining together, by speaking out, and for fighting for what we deserve. Our message to fast food workers in New York City and across the country is the 2 million members of SEIU have your back. And we will continue to stand with you to make sure cities across the country follow what New York City has led and turn fast food jobs into secure jobs that people can raise their families on. SEIU, as people have said, has stood alongside fast food workers as they went on strike across the country and as millions of workers are now winning hard-fought wage increases. Your fight in New York City has grown into an unstoppable movement for 15, and most recently, 2.5 million workers in Florida won, thanks to voters in Florida, a $15 path to minimum wage in Florida. We are not going to allow this pandemic and the resulting economic devastation be used to hasten a race to the bottom for Black and brown workers. We are making our demands loud and clear all across the country. Respect us, protect us, and pay us. And we agree with Mr. Mayor Bill de Blasio. This has to be a transformative year to change the rules for all working people. And we're going to mobilize like never before to ensure that underpaid workers of every race and background have a fair shot at equality and prosperity. We are not going back to normal because normal never worked for us. We are building a better future from this crisis, forging a path to racial and economic justice in this country. And today, we are about to take a giant leap forward on that path with New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio signing just cause legislation for fast food workers. These laws will protect workers in the $200 billion fast food industry, primarily Black and Brown workers, at a time when corporations and their political allies are trying to divide us and force us to fight for scraps. Working people united in SEIU and all across the progressive movement and labor movement will continue to fight for a national $15 minimum wage and the right for all workers to join together in a union. We will continue to fight until workers of every race, ethnicity, and gender can make ends meet and make sure their children have the opportunity to get ahead and fulfill their dreams. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for including me, and thank you for New York City's trailblazing leadership.
Well, thank you so much, Mary Kay. I love what you said. We're not going back to normal because normal never worked for us. That is such a true statement for so many working people in this country. And look, I think we all have to make very clear in 2021, it's the time to move forward boldly, not to take excuses or talk about what we can't do. I remember vividly in 2013 when I first ran for mayor, we were fighting for paid sick leave for 1 million New York City workers to protect them and their families' health and their income. And some said that year, it was a tough year, we were still coming out of the Great Recession. Some said, oh, you know, when the economy's bad is not the time to give workers paid sick days. And I said, in fact, when the economy's bad is exactly when workers need paid sick days the most. We got to protect working people. So 2021 is the year to protect working people, to double down on working people, to go farther than ever before. And there's more and more people who are receptive to that all over this country. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to great things from you and SEIU in the year 2021. All right, everyone, we got two of the folks who we're all talking about today, the folks who do the hard work, the folks who really go through tough conditions, but they're there for their families. They're there for so many New Yorkers. We want to hear from them what this means for them. First, Jeremy Espinal.
Thank you, Mayor de Blasio. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Espinal. I'm a Chipotle worker for almost 3 years now. And in that time, I've worked in 4 different stores in Manhattan. And I just wanted to touch on my experience prior to this legislation being passed and why it's so important for not only me, but all of my coworkers that it has passed. I enjoy my job very much, and I love to make customers happy, but it very much feels like Chipotle does not want me to be happy within its stores. In the time that I've been working here, I've seen new managers come in and cut coworkers' hours because they didn't like how they were working or for whatever petty personal reasons, and then unfairly give those hours to new workers that they had hired within the last week or that they had brought in from other stores. Specifically, and I was working at Union Square South, a new general manager came in, and within the month that he was there, he cut my hours from 25 to 11 hours and had brought in workers from his store that he was previously working at to compensate for those hours. This, for me personally, the stress that this brought, would keep me up at night. And I would wonder, before going into work on my train ride, I would be anxious about whether I was if I was going to arrive late because of whatever issue with the trains, or that if I didn't do a good enough job, if I was going to be fired because of that, or just because the manager was having a bad mood, if I was going to be fired. Fortunately, I was able to ask for a transfer and go to another store, but that is not often the case with the millions of workers throughout the city. And this fear and this anxiety that is plagued onto workers is completely unfair and unnecessary. And hopefully all that will change with today's victory and today's signing of the bill. And I truly believe that with the signing of this bill, it'll be beneficial for both the workers and the companies in the fast food business, because it'll incentivize workers to actually go into their job and want to do what they do. Now when I go into work, I'll feel more comfortable and be able to actually feel like my job respects me more, hopefully. And we are so grateful to the City Council and to Mayor de Blasio for passing this legislation. These protections are monumental, and they're extremely progressive, which makes me very proud to be a New Yorker. And hopefully, it's a domino effect for the rest of the nation. And hopefully, with the Georgia runoff, if we get 2 Democrats, Biden can make this a nationwide legislation, because workers need it nationwide.
All right. I like everything you said, Jeremy, especially the last part. And so hoping for good news today. But thank you for very powerfully representing just what it means to working people to have these protections and why it's so important. And yes, we have a lot of reason to be proud in New York City today as we move forward. I want you to hear everyone from one more of the folks at the front line doing the work who we all depend on. And her story is another one of the stories of why this legislation matters so much. My pleasure to introduce Akosua Albanqua. Welcome, Akosua.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, and Happy New Year's to everyone. My name is Akosua Albanqua, and I worked at Chipotle for a couple of months now. I had my hours cut with no notice and with the just cause from 27 to 30 to now 14 to 16. It felt random and arbitrary. They started having me come to work for 3-hour shifts for 5 days for a week, so that that means that I have to travel for an hour round trip just to work for 3 hours. But then I'll be asked to stay longer if they needed more help at the store. And in this case, I didn't feel like I could say no, because I needed the money. So going to work, knowing not knowing what time I would get home, felt very random to me and to most of my coworkers, because this did not just happen to me, but to most of my coworkers. When my hours were cut, I felt scared because I helped my parents pay the bills, and hopefully this year September I'll be starting college. So every money that I make, I have to save to pay for college. With the Just Cause legislation, makes fast food workers feel like makes fast food workers feel financially secure at our jobs. We are the frontline. We are the frontline workers at the COVID. We are one of the frontline workers at the COVID pandemic. Um, Having to continue to work during the city's crucial time has been very rigorous on all of us, because we know having because we all know that it's very dangerous. And because of the pandemic and our work conditions, we often feel unsafe at our jobs. And we shouldn't have to feel financially insecure too. With the new protection, I know I know how much money I'll be making from week to week. Tens of thousands of fast food workers like me will have our job security and financial security that we have been missing for so long. That's why with this legislation is such an important step to ensuring the fast food jobs are good, family sustaining, and a secure job. Thank you to the New York City Council and Mayor de Blasio for giving us a sense of safety at our jobs, and ensuring that starting today, none of our fellow coworkers will be terminated or have their hours cut for no cause. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akosua, and I really appreciate you speaking from the heart about why this matters so much. I also want to tell you on a personal note, you have one of my all-time favorite first names, just a beautiful name. And thank you for what you're doing, standing up for working people. And you started your remarks with a Happy New Year. I want to say, because of what everyone's doing today, it's going to be a happier New Year for a lot of working folks in this city. But I also want to wish everyone a Happy New Year in general, because we've been through enough in 2020. Isn't it nice to be in a year with the number 2021 in it? Before I sign the legislation, a few words in Spanish, just quick summary of what we're doing here today. Hoy vamos a firmar dos proyectos de ley para proteger a los que trabajan en negocios de comida rápida. Ellos han sido muy afectados por la pandemia y sus familias dependen del dinero que ganan. A partir de ahora, ellos no van a vivir con el temor de perder sus trabajos sin una causa justa. That's what it's all about, a just cause. Everyone deserves that. And now it's time to sign this legislation. You got it. First time I'm putting 2021 on a piece of legislation. I am very happy. Much nicer year. There is one. All right, everyone. Both bills have been signed. Now this legislation is law. Congratulations, everyone involved. Thank you again. And that concludes this hearing. And again, to everyone, a very happy 2021. Thanks, everyone.